Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Carolyn. This is going to be a quick little makeup declutter. I'm not going to do like a full makeup collection and declutter like I would normally do with declutter videos where I show my whole collection, declutter from my collection, because I don't have a good overhead filming setup, like a good overhead tripod or anything like that. I had one before. Well, it was like this contraption that my husband made out of random things. Like there was cardboard tissue boxes, like the cylinder cardboard tissue boxes, and just like random stuff, but it was too big and kind of fragile. So when we moved from Arizona to Florida, I didn't bring it with me. So anyway, all that to say, I don't have a good tripod or anything to film overhead videos, and I'm not going to be waiting to declutter these to film that video because I have a friend coming over next week and I'm going to be giving her some of these things, and then I'm shipping a package to my sister-in-law, so I'm also going to be shipping a couple of these to a friend because I never get to the post office, so I just need to do it now. So anyway, I'm just gonna get into the makeup that I'm decluttering. I have a few eyeshadow palettes and then a couple makeup things. I'll start with the like base makeup and then I'll get into the eyeshadows. But first thing is this Bare Minerals Prime Time. This and these were from the declutters from Amy. This is the Bare Minerals Prime Time Original Foundation Primer, and this isn't bad. It's fine. I have oily skin, and this is kind of like a slightly oily. It's not oily, but it's not mattifying either, but it's silicone and it's a touch oily, so I'm going to be decluttering this.
Hi, Editing Carolyn here. I decided to go ahead and keep this primer because it actually works really well at reviving my matte ColourPop Super Shock Cheek blush that I've been trying to finish. It was dried out. I applied some of this and it brought it back to life, so I decided to go ahead and keep it for reviving my matte Super Shock Cheek blushes.
And this blush is called Day and Night, and it's from Half Caked in Bloom. And this is very dark. I did use it in a video and I liked the way it looked. It's just that I have to be careful with it. Like I have to not pick up too much, and it's not buildable for me. It is a really pretty color. I just feel like I have other options that I would rather use, and I think someone else would enjoy this a lot more. But I'm replacing it with this other half-caked blush, and it's called Me and You. And I had passed on this initially because I was like, well, it's just a basic peach blush. But I really did like the formula of this because it lasted all day, and it didn't need, because you know, I like to layer my cream and powder products, like cream blush and powder blush in similar colors to make it last all day, because otherwise it usually doesn't, but this one did. And I really like the formula. It's very buttery smooth. It reminds me of the NARS blushes that are in a palette that Amy gave me, this one. And these blushes are so nice and buttery and smooth, and they apply so nicely. So I do really like, this is the NARS palette. I really like this. So anyway, I do really like the formula of these blushes, and this is actually what I'm wearing today, and I really like this. I don't need to have a cream blush underneath this, which is good because I don't really have a cream blush in a similar color. So this works as a good standalone powder blush. And I realized like I was kind of swatching things out, and I actually don't have a blush that's quite like this shade. And I thought for sure I would because it seems like a basic peach color, but I don't know. I just really like it. So I'm going to be keeping this one and decluttering this darker one. So that's just kind of a trade out But I did use that darker blush on camera, so that's why I just wanted to show it real quick. This also from Amy, and then the rest isn't from the eyeshadow. After this is just eyeshadow palettes, and none of the eyeshadow palettes are from Amy. But anyway, this is the Becca face palette in Sunsetter. I wanted to keep it because it's Becca, and I have a blush from Becca and a highlighter. I really like the quality of Becca products, and these are good quality. I just don't need. So these are highlighters, basically these three here. This is a bronzer. They're pretty. I have other bronzers. I have a lot of bronzers. Maybe not a lot, but I have way more than I need. I have bronzers from this face palette that Amy also decluttered, and highlighters, and I have other highlighters as well. I just think that someone else would enjoy this more. It's a really good formula. I just don't need it. Well, I don't really need any of this. I just feel like it just feels excessive for me right now. So I'm gonna give that to someone else. Okay, so eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so this Verdandi palette, Verdandi from Odin's Eye. This was decluttered to me from Misty Pans on YouTube, and this one is nice. It's good quality. This shade, I dropped this palette and the shade broke, but I just feel like, you know, it's kind of limited. I never really feel like using this palette, but I know I have homes for all of these palettes, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, I just don't really ever feel like using this. It is really good quality, and I think if you don't have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, you would really like this. I don't think it's available, but like, it's fine. I don't really want it anymore. Okay, so this is the Sugar Drizzle Gnome Chrome palette, and I was really torn about this because I love the packaging. The packaging is so cute, and you know, I collect makeup palettes usually for the packaging, and the packaging is so cute, but I mostly collect IP collabs, and I will get like cute packaging and stuff, but this isn't one I would get like just to collect. I don't know. I have my own like system mentally for what I buy for packaging, and it's mostly IP collabs. So anyway, this was decluttered to me from a friend, and it's all shimmers, and I feel guilty having it because I never use it. I've tried to use I don't even think I've used all the shades once. It's just not one I ever feel like using, because with these, obviously you have to bring mattes in from other palettes, and then it's like I have to come up with a look for a specific shade in here, you know, like the majority of them are deeper and have a lot more base pigment. They aren't like shimmer toppers. I mean, these three are, well, I guess this bottom row are more of the type of shimmers that I can use easily with other palettes, but I don't really use this, and it's going to a new home, and I'm excited for that because I think my friend will like it more than I do. Okay, so these next three palettes are all Sugar Drizzle, so I guess it's a lot of Sugar Drizzle, but I do like Sugar Drizzle, particularly the Monster Party palette, which I've talked about so much. This one, I really like this one. So the shimmers are really good quality, especially in like their newer palettes. These shimmers are so good. And then I also got this one that I'm wearing today, and I really like it. Like, I really like this palette, the shimmers in here and stuff. So I do like Sugar Drizzle. I just shouldn't have gotten these palettes. So yeah, this is the Snowdrop Fairy palette. I made a purchase kind of after Hurricane Helene, and they're based out of North Carolina, and they were affected by Hurricane Helene. And I know, like, I follow them on Instagram, and the owner was talking about how, like, with shipping and stuff, it will be delayed, and also saying like they might have to close down. And so I didn't want them to have to close down, so I bought all their pallets. I don't know if that really even made a difference, but anyway, I have new homes for these, so I'm happy about that. But either way, this is the Snowdrop Fairy palette, and this is an all shimmer palette and it's really good quality. I do like all the shades in here, except this one is kind of more of a satin. It's just that I have these shades in other eyeshadow palettes, and I just usually prefer to use the shimmers that are already in the palettes that I'm using than to use something like this. So like I said, it's really good quality, and so I think who I give this to, she's gonna really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm happy about that. And then this is the Snow Bunny palette. This one, again, it's good quality. I don't like this rainbow shade. It started off as a rainbow shade, and then it kind of like smeared together when I used it. But you know, it's just like lines of different shades. So there was like pink and a darker pink and purple and blue and red. Anyway, I don't really like that. And I just feel like this is a very disjointed palette, like color wise. It's just, I've used it a couple times. I just don't know what to do with it when I use it. So yeah. And then the mattes, this is just mostly purples. It is really good quality. I've used it a couple times. So I have palettes that have purple eyeshadows, and I would just use the purple in those. I tend to mostly just use palettes with mattes and shimmers, and use the mattes that are in the palette and the shimmers in the palette. I do have like my Adept Heather Austin palette, which I mostly pretty much always use it for the shimmers because I don't think the mattes in this palette are that good. But these are all really nice. I really like these shimmers, so I will use all shimmer or all matte palettes. Like I'm thinking my Bailey Sarian palette, that one's all matte, but for the most part I will use a palette with mattes and shimmers. I have a couple one-offs, and I'm not saying I'll never get like another all matte or all shimmer palette, but it's just like this one is not something I would use very much. Like I've only used it a couple times just to use it. But who I'm giving this to, I'm really excited to give it to her because I know she loves purple eyeshadow and she's excited for this. So I'm excited to give it to her. So those are all of the makeup items that I'm going to be decluttering. Not a lot, but I'm really happy with the makeup that I have and my collection, and everything I have now is things I really want. So I'm glad to be passing along things that I'm not as excited to use to other people that will really enjoy them. So yeah, I feel good about this. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!